Caroleena, and I'm going to do a tutorial for you, Michelle, on how to foot hoop. And just so you know, it's freezing today, as I know you know, you live in Raleigh, we're having this polar ice thing. But here I am in shorts and on my cold floor doing this for you. I love you. So, and also, I had to shave my legs, which means I no longer have a winter coat, and Locks of Love is not getting that donation they were counting on. Okay, hooping on your foot. This version of hooping on your foot is going to involve sitting on your bottom or laying on your back. So the first thing that you need to know about hooping on your foot is that it's just like hooping on your hand. When you're hooping on your hand, you're pushing front, back, front, back. When you're hooping on your foot has become your hand and it's pushing front, back, front, back. So this can happen from the ankle, but more likely it's really happening from the hip or possibly the knee. The whole entire leg is moving rather than trying to flex your foot. So right now my foot is almost to the tippy toes. Right there is the sweet spot that's above the pads. Here's the next sweet spot that's below the pads. The middle of the foot, right above the ankle. And then once it gets to the heel, it's going to hit your ankle. So just go ahead and think that part of your practice is going to be putting it on, and part of your practice is going to be taking it off. So first let me show you how to put it on. Oh, and let me show you the sweet spots from this direction as well. So above the pads, below the pads, and in here if you can, I mean if you need to, but these two places are really the sweet spot. This is the one that you're least likely to lose it. This is the one where if you're getting ready to do something with it, you can kind of move it. Okay, so the first thing to practice is just either lay on your side or on your back and practice taking the top of your foot and putting it in the palm of your hand so that your hand and your foot become one thing. That's how you do this pass. So you don't want space between your foot and your hand. You want to try to get your hand right into the top of your foot right into your hand. And I keep my feet somewhat flexed, somewhat pointed, but not super pointed, not enough to make me have cramps, because you're going to be up there for a while. So before we start this, I would recommend doing a couple of exercises. I'd recommend laying on your back, stretching, pulling your leg towards you, just stretching this out a little bit behind the hamstring and the back of the leg. I would recommend doing this a little bit, making your foot come to 90 degrees, and then flex point, flex point, flex point, flex point. Do that like 10 times with each one. Then do a circle to the outside, like 10 times, and a circle to the inside. So you really get your foot itself lubed up so you feel like you can move it. Because you can do small pushes with the foot to assert certain types of influences on the hoop. So then I would recommend holding your foot and going bounce, 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 bounce. Not big bounces. You don't want to pull it. You're not trying to go for maximum stretch. You're just trying to warm up your connective tissue to your bottom, because you're going to be here quite a bit. And then maybe even turn on your side and lift your legs a couple times that way. Alright, so now we're ready to practice hooping. The first thing that we've got to do is we've got to be able to keep the hoop on our hand above our body. So practice that a little bit. And then if you've practiced putting your foot into your hoop with the top of your foot against your hand, here's where you get to test it. So notice that I've got my knee already pointed where it's heading, and I just try to straighten my leg so that my foot goes, boom, right into my palm, and I can take my hand off. So when you first get this, just think, I want to move my foot, my whole leg, front, back, and it might be easier for you to lay on your back to do that, front, back. So it's going to take a little bit to get first the pass, and then to be able to do it on your foot for a while. Then once you can do it on your foot for a while, play with those sweet spots. So there's the one that's on the pads above the toe. See how high you can take your hoop. Then there's the ones that are below the pads, below the toes. Play with that instep part of your foot. Then before you think about starting to take it down, think about moving your foot around. So do circles with your leg. Woo-hoo-hoo. I've got a lot of obstacles in here, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you some things. And then practice sitting up and laying down. Can't encourage him. He's so cute though, oh my God. Okay, and one of my favorite ways to hoop for a while is to sit up and then to roll on my hip. And I just bring my hand that I'm trying to help pull me over, my back hand, woo, the one that's the same one as the hoop, I just put it down on the ground in front of me. So it's front, back, front, back, front, back. And then practice taking it out to here and doing it. Oh, shoot. What can you do? Taking it over here to do it. So, next thing I want to talk about is when the hoop starts to come down your leg, which is also talking about how do I pass the hoop and why do I want to. So, a pass is when you bring one foot, you just touch your toe to your your knee, and slide it all the way up until it's in the hoop beside your first foot, and then you slide that first foot back out. So practicing that pass is really fun, and it's also an essential skill for saving your hoop. So when you first start doing this and you're learning how to work your foot so that you can keep the hoop where you want it, it's likely to end up down below your heel, and all of a sudden you're like, crap, it's coming towards my face. If you can put your other toe next to your leg, let the hoop land on you, and then just continue up, you can carry the hoop up and away from you. So I would actually practice that also some. Practice deliberately, letting the hoop come down your leg, and play with it some. Before you go taking it off, play with it on both legs. Feel how you can change planes. So if your hoop is straight above you, that's your horizontal plane, or as close as you can get to it. But there's all these other planes that you can play with too. By bending your leg, start to make it go faster. If you pump fast, it's going to make it go fast. So go slow if you want to be able to kind of predict where it's going. All right, let me take it back up. So just know that you can explore all of these planes in all these different directions. You can also, once you get it on your foot, and you learn how to, I should have put these two yoga mats side by side. You learn how to come up on your side, whoops. Then you can roll onto your belly. Continue to roll the same way. It's going to pass over your foot for a second until now the top of my foot is what's pushing back, 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 back. Woo! I recommend using a light hoop because hoops hitting you in the face, oh man. So for this, I recommend using a light one, and not super small. I'd say this is probably like 38 inches. That way it comes around slow. I can feel it coming, and but it's still light enough that it's not going to pull me over, or I don't feel like it's a burden to keep up. Okay, so you can roll over onto your belly. You can also, I'm not sure if I can do this in here because of that pole, but you can also roll up onto a shoulder stand. So the way I would do this is to let my arms relax by my side. My bent foot is going to give me a little bit of a push-up, and then my abdomen has to pull me up the rest of the way. So yoga is a great way to learn this, and its shoulder stand is really good for our health. So while I'm doing that, I just got to remember to keep my foot doing what it's doing right now. So this becomes automatic memory. This is muscle memory, and this is what comes of just laying on the floor for a while and doing this. It's really good for your abs. It's actually pretty relaxing once you get it going. And I don't know, I recommend that. Put on a movie on your computer or something and lay down, or listen to a meditation and just do it. It's fun. All right, here we go. Hands on the ground. I'm going to lift up. I'm going to push with my foot, lift with my abdomen. Boom. And now I'm above me and I'm pushing back and forth. Now if I wanted to roll over, which I definitely cannot do in this space, I would take my left knee, which is the bent one, and I would touch it on the ground behind my left ear, and I would roll over. And the trick is you got to keep that toe that's right now pointed towards the sky, even though you're in the process of rolling over. So you bend at the knee to keep it pointed towards the sky. So I'm not going to try it. I know I can't with that pole. I did think of one more thing. What was it? do, do, do. Hey, kitty. It was one more hooping on the thing, but dang, I can't remember what it was now. Oh, well, I guess I could just add that while you're down here hooping on the foot, there's always a place that you can do arm work. You can always work in pretty arm work. Like make yourself flat so you're making a nice straight line, and dance with your arms, dance with your elbows. You know, make poses. So there's always ways that you can dress things up. I love him. Oh. Okay, I think that's it. I had to give them treats to get them off my yoga mat. But I did give them the treats in the background so that y'all could see them because they're just delightful, don't you think?